Now, how many times have you experienced this? You have the last couple of exams, last couple of days of school or of work before you eventually have your long-awaited summer vacation. You're gonna have a lot of time off, a lot of time to do exactly the things you want to do. Time to work on your craft, work on your side hustle, get better at your hobbies, spend more time in the gym, get that summer beach body that you've been waiting and dreaming of. So what really happens? Well, in most cases, these dreams and desires of ours, these ambitions of putting our lives together in the matter of a few days at the start of summer and just grinding to become these absolute G's.
What colour's your bugatti?
Don't really end up turning out the way we want them to, do they? Most of the time, what happens is that you finish your exams, you finish your last couple of days, and you get home, you're quite fatigued, you're quite tired, you sit back, you relax a little bit, and you tell yourself that I'll get started on the grind and I'll get after it once the motivation hits me again, once I sort of have recuperated a bit, and once I'm ready to get after it. What usually happens is that you end up sort of slouching back in the sofa, eating ice cream, not really doing a whole lot at all. So where did we go wrong? What happened that led to the entire summer sort of being wasted away in meaningless Netflix or movies, just casual fun that never really ended up doing anything for our long-term desires, for our long-term fulfillment, and for the goals we want to achieve, for the success we want to harvest? What happened to all of those big plans? The problem really comes with motivation. We're all used to thinking about motivation as this incredible emotion, this rush of feelings that make you want to do amazing things in life. But motivation is kind of fake. Although it's a brilliant feeling, it pretty much is just that, a feeling. And people often tend to get it at the most just unrealistic and unreasonable times, like at 3 a.m. when you should have gone to bed 2 hours ago. You're still up because like you were watching some crappy video on YouTube, and now you're sitting there 3 a.m. watching David Goggins scream at you in the middle of a 200-mile run, and you've suddenly decided that you want to put your life back in order.
Yes.
But the problem with this is that both you and I know that at 3 a.m. you won't really do any action towards upgrading yourself as a person, to reaching your goals, or to taking any steps in their directions, right? And that's the problem with motivation. It's kind of not real. It's just this emotion. It's a fugazi.
Fugazi, it's a wazi, it's a woozy, it's a...
It's kind of irrelevant. And that's the thing. If we let ourselves drive off of motivation, we'll find that we get to do very little. Even if you might be thinking that, no, but sometimes motivation can be really good to like get you going. And that might be true in some cases. For example, imagine that there's New Year's Eve, right? And you're a big fan of New Year's resolutions, let's say. And let's say you actually have some respect for them in the regard that if you say you're going to do something, you'll actually start it and you'll see where it goes at least. You'll actually go through with the initial plan. And especially if you've told other people that, for example, that you're starting new goals, that you're doing all of these things in the new year, there's some social pressure to sort of abide by, right? So New Year's Eve's coming up and you've decided in the new year now that you're going to stop drinking alcohol, you're going to stop going out partying every weekend, you're going to start exercising every day, right? Because that's a reasonable goal to set as well. You're going to do stretching, you're going to do meditation, you're going to start reading a book every week, right? All of these crazy things. And you find yourself, 1st of January, actually showing up to the gym, doing all of these things and actually getting through with it, right? Brilliant. We're all probably used to that, right? At least the very known gym image sort of 1st of January, the gym's just being packed by everyone wanting to get in good shape. But a few weeks after that, or even a mere couple of days, you'll start to feel that motivation suddenly starts fading a bit off, and you don't really want to do those things anymore. You don't want to be as consistent about them.
Quit, don't quit, noodles.
And sooner or later, you find yourself just where you started before the new year, not really doing any of the things you desired to do. And that is the case. Even though motivation might help you to get started, if you have this overwhelming feeling of motivation, and it comes together with a lot of, I guess, societal expectations or social pressures perhaps, or, other people sort of cheering you on a bit in the start, it's not something that can be sustained by motivation itself. And that's the problem. So the only solution to this is discipline. It's action. You might be used to hearing people talk about motivation will lead to action, right? If you're motivated enough, it'll drive you towards actually doing things. But it doesn't really seem that way. And for me, I have a quite different mindset that seems to work for me very, very well when it comes to actually getting things done and actually taking steps in the direction of the goals you want to achieve. And it's a bit different, but it's along the same lines. And it goes, action leads to motivation, which leads to further action. And the brilliant thing about this is that it's this positive upward spiral that gets you running in the right direction. Most of the time, let's face it, we're not motivated to do anything except for watch Netflix and eat ice cream, right? Motivation is very unreliable. It seems to strike at the most unreasonable times, as I said, 3 a.m. when you're about to go to bed and Goggins hits you up on the phone. You know, you see him running on like a YouTube short or TikTok or Instagram, just running around, being all crazy, you know, staying hard. But that's not really when you want the motivation. So it's very unreliable, right? You don't want it at 3 a.m. You don't really want to when you're in the middle of like, you're sitting there and you're actually chilling out, having a nice sort of afternoon or evening with your family or friends. But you want it ideally to fuel you, to fuel your work, to help you move further along towards your goals. But the big thing then is that if you just start.
Just do it!
If you just start, and you have to do that if you want to achieve the things you want to achieve. If you just start and you execute and you try your very best and you keep it going, you build habits, you work hard, you stay consistent, motivation will suddenly glimpse through here and there, a little crack in the lens, and it will come through at different points in time and help you a bit further along to keep going with that consistency and to keep going when the times get rough. The point is that you can't rely on it. You can't expect it to be here right now because now you need it. You've got to do the work, you've got to start out, and sooner or later it will pop up here and there as small bits of encouragement. But at the end of the day, it's all about you starting the process, you facing the music head on and going for it. So remember, action leads to motivation, which leads to further action. Without any further ado, thanks for watching the video. If you liked it, consider giving it a like down below. Let me know if you have any thoughts about it. Do you agree? Do you disagree? And also, if you resonated with this message, I'd highly encourage you to check out this video on the screen right now. And yeah, without further ado, thanks for watching. And as always, remember to keep on training, train what you love. And I'll catch you in the next one. See ya, guys.